Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Sean's Mapping, or the Sultanate Empire, and I would just like to say, welcome back to What If Civilization Started Over, the new series, as I am discontinuing the other one due to the fact that I have been too busy with life and a bunch of other stuff to really continue that one. And also, I'm starting this because if you guys know who Ender M is, I will be starting this series with him and a couple other of our mutual friends and a couple other of our friends. So let's get into this video. Before I make this video, or this intro, I should say, way too long. So here we have the blue team right here in South Africa. And also, let me know if you like this kind of fog of war where the entire map is, grayed out and kind of undiscovered, or if you would like to rather have me, have it the normal way where you can still see the water, but the rest of the continents and islands are all grayed out to represent unexplored land. But let's get into the video. We will be seeing some blue team explorers kind of go up the coast until eventually they decide to stop and come back. They also begin to explore inward and also, again, up this coast right over here, before again exploring inland and kind of exploring up like this. And it is at this point that the blue team's king makes a stupid decision. And he completely forgets that he is, responsible for people, as he does a mass expansion into all of the territory that he just took, or, well, explored slash took. And he expands into it like that. And it is at this point where the people become unhappy because they just did a massive expansion into, you know, unknown, uncontrolled territory. And about 600 people decide to leave the country. So these 600 people, they leave heading up this way, heading more northward on the western eastern side of Africa, one of the two sides. I'll have to work on my direction later. As they continue to just kind of follow the coastline, and then they eventually get up there, and well, they end up disappearing, and the blue team will never hear from them again. Maybe. Maybe something good happens to them. Maybe they all die. Maybe they live and they create their own country. But for now, nobody's gonna know what happened to those 5 to 600 people that decided to leave. Now, what we do see happening is the king of the blue team gets assassinated by somebody. Nobody knows who, but someone just assassinated the king. Now, we have a rebellion happening. You see, the king had 3 children. We have the eldest son who has the respect of the primary area and, the capital and the surrounding major cities and pretty much where the country started. Whereas the youngest brother, has the respect of the northern areas up here. And then the eldest sister and the only daughter of the king has the respect of this entire region up here. And the country kind of breaks out into a civil war, if you will. As you got the 3 siblings, of course, who are fighting each other. On top of that, you have several different civilian rebel groups that have popped up across the country, essentially, that no longer want to be a part of the blue team. Now, there's not many of them, thankfully. Otherwise, the blue team would be very, very much fucked in more ways than one. For now, it is only these two smaller pockets, and we will be seeing this war take place. Now, as to be expected, the blue team is quickly, very quickly, going to crush these rebellions. But due to the fact that he has to deal with these rebellions right here, kind of leaves him open to his younger siblings. As he's forced to deal with these rebellions as so that he can, have an easier time dealing with his younger brother and sister later on down the line. Now, it is at this point in the war where he realizes that these rebellions might have been caused by his younger siblings to kind of give them an upper edge for the start of the war. As once he's done with those rebellions there, he gets informed that his brother, his younger brother, has already severely pushed up and pushed further to the point where he now is reaching the local rebel area that he just finished taking over. Meanwhile, they have received reports that the sister and younger brother are also fighting each other. So this is not a united effort against him. It is a just whoever wins gets the crown kind of deal slash situation. So it is at this point where we see all three siblings begin to duke it out between each other, with the younger brother absolutely getting bashed and battered by the elder sister, as the darker blue out of the three is the youngest child that the king had, with the lighter blue being the light blue being orange or being the oldest, sorry, and the bright blue being the daughter, the only daughter, and also the second oldest, and then the dark being the youngest. Hence why he has the smallest territory out of the three. But this war is going to rage on for about 4 to 2 months before the front lines change drastically. And this is where we see the drastic changes. For example, due to his older sister pushing in on him from the opposite side, the younger brother is forced to pull his troops back. And that is exactly what he does. But his older brother's forces get overexcited. Oh, excuse me. And they push into the younger brother's country, and they don't follow orders, which is a problem because a mass amount of troops pushing into this area just left the southern front line, or the other front line open, because they desperately needed support because the sister is putting heavy pressure on the brothers' forces in this region. And they've already began to push into old occupied territory that the younger brother used to have. And it's at this point that the older brother realizes that this war might last for quite a while, as the Red Rebels, who seem to have no friends on either side, once again pop up and begin to fight against his forces. But the older brother does notice something. They're not fighting against his sister's forces, which gives him an idea. The idea that his sister might be held responsible for these civilian rebels. As the same thing also happens over here. And again, they pop back up, and then also, all of a sudden, the rebels have the power and the might to begin fighting against his military. But what seals the deal is the fact that both of these rebel groups slash areas allow his sister's forces to push through. And they push instantly to the coast, and they immediately cut off the older brother's forces in the north, which is not good. And at this point, it is already December. It is December 1st, the 1st of December, and the war is still raging on. As this war started in January, so, it started at the start of the year, and now it is the end of the year, so this war has been raging on for an entire year now. With the encirclement of the northern military, the older brother loses a good portion of his army to this encirclement, which very much makes him mad and pissed off, as the rest of this land gets taken over by the older sister. Now, it's at this point where the older brother realizes, all three siblings realize, that this war has been bloody enough. And so, with the older sister controlling quite a lot of territory and really nothing happening to her, she is declared victor and becomes queen, but not the queen of the light blue team. As you see, the older sister isn't the rightful ruler. She doesn't have a claim to the throne due to the fact that she is a bastard child. She was what happens when a king doesn't remain loyal to his queen. And that's exactly what happened. And when people found that out, the sister lost all her right to rule the kingdom, which means the older brother retains the kingship of the country. But due to the fact that she already has supporters, she declares her own independence, and so does the younger brother. And so do these two red rebel pockets. So, what does the war look like? Well, first things first, borders are going to change drastically, primarily with the red rebels getting most of the land that was occupied by the sister. So let us look at that peace treaty right now. So the Red Rebels are going to expand themselves all the way down to the coast, like so, and also all the way up to right about there to the sisters' territory. Now the younger brother is of course still also going to get a little bit of land out of this agreement, since he did fight and he was involved in it. So they are going to give him this small chunk of land up here. But this rebellion completely ruins the chances of the blue team expanding into other areas in the future. Um, However, there is some good news from this. And that good news is that the sister, due to the fact that she has a massive respect for her older brother, gives up some of her own land, due to the fact that her older brother was the only one in her life to ever show her kindness and respect. So she gives up some of her land. And this is now what the country looks like. And we have officially had our very first war. Now, I would just like to say thank you all for watching. This will now be the end of the video, as I hope it is not too long, but I also hope it is not too short. But, anyways, that is besides the point. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, are having a wonderful day, a wonderful night, wherever you may live. If you have enjoyed this video, go down to beneath said video and hit that like button. If you did not enjoy the video, you can go right next to the like button and you can hit that dislike button. And you can give the video a big old dislike. And also, if you enjoy what I do and you want to be notified whenever I make a new upload to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But if you, again, don't like what I'm doing, you can hit that dislike button and you cannot subscribe. It is up to you and it is your choice. Anyways, I'm Sean's Mapping, or the Sultanate Empire, and I'll see y'all in the next video.